go, Barnabas.
Holy
You
crap,
never outlived
friends.
that name.
Okay. I know,
So-
Jen, you can't stick around for very long because you've got stuff to do, and I totally get that. Folks still watching at home, now is a great time for you to put any questions, comments that you want us to address in the chat. Now we will answer your questions. We will engage with you all. I want to say thank you to Anonymous for the 2,000 bits. I want to say thank you, of course, to Jeff for the ridiculous amount of subs. And also, while we are talking...
I have not forgotten my decision, sir.
I have to open this thing now.
Oh yeah.
While he figures out how to open it, why don't we have Jen plug?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Jen, because we usually do this at the end, but I know you have to go. So Jen, why don't you tell us what you had fun with and what is a player character you want to give a shout out to? And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can open this damn chip.
I mean, I really you made me cry, so well done. Well done. I do like emotional and emotionally satisfying gameplay, so that's nice. I will say that has been a lot of fun. I was also very satisfied with the conversation that we had with what the fuck his name is,
Arnon and Galvin.
Arden? Okay. And that was very satisfying. I feel like that was more satisfying a conversation to go through with challenges than the night scale one was. And I can't really explain why. I don't know if it's just because they are more similar, even though they are obviously really different as a species and a culture, are still in some ways more similar to us than a dragon is.
That's true.
I'm definitely, I mean, I liked everybody. I'm definitely was 100% here for Gale with Echo's, just Echo as a person is so good. And it just really does come out. And I do feel like, even though that it's more of, goddess of luck and lies, like the fact that Echo became a cleric is like not an like I could definitely see that's been a good,
it does make perfect sense,
end point. Yeah. And and all of the stuff, like, and really, that a lot of this just had to do with, also the goodness of the people that Echo was raised with, with the circus and all of those people. So it's always nice to kind of get those feels of character through other character just by watching that character be that character. And
it was very
really
difficult for me to hold to the Dwerger's cultural values in the face of like
the big eyes,
just pure goodness.
Yeah.
But I promised myself before I started this that none of you would be able to fundamentally change who these Dwerger were in this scene. But
yeah, in one conversation, no.
But yeah, you definitely made some strides.
But it was definitely interesting and fun, and I feel like after, like, during this long rest, everybody's gonna turn around and be like, so cleric?
Yeah, no, like you walked over to Echo, healed him, and then walked away, and Echo's like, what?
Okay, I think this is a better point here. Vic has believed that Kretha was a cleric for a very long time.
Really? Really? Okay, so why? Why? I gotta know why.
The fact that, so you were talking to a fucking ghost spirit thing in your weapon. How is that not a cleric thing to do?
Point. Okay, that is a good point. That's funny.
So the fact that when Vic was like cleric, duh, but like she didn't know that Kretha like was a cleric. At the very least, she was like, priest. This is obviously like a religious kid.
So both goblins took their step towards becoming clerics after talking to a ghost.
Yeah.
Yep, it's fine.
Okay,
No, it's
Jen,
not.
go off, do what
Oh
you need
no,
to do.
you are eating that chip.
Okay, fine.
Good
And in
idea.
Yeah,
fact,
that has to be done on screen for everybody to see.
I
Big screen,
have got
big
to
screen.
see
this
this.
isn't even enough, okay? I'm
You
not
got
even going to
milk,
give
right?
you just this. I am going to go to a completely different scene. And I am going to, let's see.
Good, so that we can. Do you?
Yeah, there we
have-
are.
Do you
Yeah,
have?
we gotta see
Wait.
that sweat just kind of.
Okay.
Wait, I need you to get milk now.
Yeah, get milk now.
M, in the refrigerator, just go ahead and bring me the half gallon, please.
Oh, point of order. Just in case anyone's curious, lactose-free milk does not cut through spice the way normal
Because
milk
it
does.
doesn't have the protein.
Oh God, I can.
That's
It's
the hard
opening
way.
up my. It's opening up my nasal passages just smelling it.
Why is
Don't
it so
touch your
black?
eyes. Do not touch your eyes.
No, I will wash my
Why does
hands
it
after
dye
this.
it that color?
Okay.
That's not-
So,
Like dish soap.
Oh, God,
Wash your hands, not just hand soap. Like
Yeah.
dish soap.
do not rub your
Okay.
eyes.
Here we go, friends. This has been a long time coming. It's almost the same color as the background.
It's
I am dialing 911 just in case.
And yes, Psychanthrope, I do see that you have done that. I have chips to eat later if this doesn't kill me. Friends,
I'm not joking about 911.
good night.
Oh, just one big go. Oh God.
Oh, the eyes are watering.
Yeah,
we're watching the puffiness begin.
that is the longest chewing of a chip I've ever seen.
As you see how wet his eyes are getting, that's how wet Echo's eyes were earlier when he was
Oh,
looking
wow.
at you pleading.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh no, I see the regret.
Okay.
Oh no, it stained your teeth.
Yeah, no, it turns your tongue blue.
I got this. Oh man. Oh, it's still climbing.
Yeah, no, it. keeps
Oh,
climbing
God.
For something like what, like 40 minutes?
Okay, I'm all right. Holy shit. I can't even make words. Oh man.
You look fucking pale right now.
You're earning what you are earning it right now.
Pale, but somehow also red.
Oh,
at
it
the
burns
same
all the way
time.
down.
Quite a red.
You need to take, after you're done with the milk, an antacid as well.
Oh god. Oh, it's still
So
climbing.
your esophagus doesn't fucking.
I feel it in the base of my skull.
Oh man, are you gonna feel this
M.
coming out too?
And you might know this. Which chip was it?
Oh, so this is the PacWise 2022 one chip challenge.
And those are off.
No,
It's the blue one.
do not
I
rub
think-
your eyes until you wash.
I
your
might be coming
hands.
up on the top.
You're welcome, Rob.
is.
Do not. Throw
So
up
much
on
saliva is happening right now. Oh god.
Okay, it's the 2022 Carolina Reaper.
Ugh.
Are you experiencing any numbness, or was that false?
I think I'm over the top.
Oh, he doesn't have his
Don't linger there
headphones
for a
in.
bit.
Oh god.
Drink
Oh, I
the
regret
milk.
everything. Every breath is agony.
Drink the milk. He can't hear us. Drink the milk.
No, well, so there is the oh yeah.
He's gone.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
his nose has become a faucet.
Yeah, oh yeah, that
Okay.
the body doesn't want it in there.
Oh no.
I think I'm past the worst of it.
We only got one. They
Keep
are
saying
Oh,
you're
God.
not the worst of it, but you're not.
okay. So apparently
The cat is worried about me.
Drink the milk.
the cat is super worried about you. You're fine.
Yeah.
Don't get the stuff on the cat's fur. Although
Oh
I don't
my
think
God.
cats are a mammal that can taste.
Ah,
sweet,
you see the
so,
drool? Yeah, that's happening.
Oh no.
Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna switch back to you all. I might take a few minutes.
Rub your
I
eyes.
would like you
Part
all.
of the
Oh
challenge,
fuck.
Jen, part of the challenge.
Keep
is
on talking
actually
about the
how long
game.
can you go without drinking.
But I have to go and.
Really?
Oh man. All right, I'll be right back.
Wash your
Surviving is
hands.
one thing, not
You're-
drinking
Ugh.
the part that does the badness.
Yeah, that's the part that does the damage.
Okay.
Tap out, god damn it.
Oh my
Okay. I'll be
God.
right back.
Okay.
Now that we've thoroughly murdered our DM,
All right, Jed, are you heading out now? Gonna go
I'm
do
gonna
the-
head out because I've got to go get ready because we're going to the Outer Banks tomorrow. So we're going
Oh,
to
enjoy,
beach.
have fun.
I'm gonna do painting. I'm bringing my plein air supplies, a watercolor and stuff. So I got a bunch of stuff to do painting, and we're gonna
He's
see
dying.
the aquarium, the third North Carolina aquarium that we have not seen yet, and we're gonna just hang out and play board games and read to each other and like be on the beach and like have a nice because this is for our 10th anniversary that was in the
Aw.
end of August. So thank you guys. I will see you guys. I will see the audience in 2 weeks. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
later.
Is Rob
I
okay?
have revived him through necromancy,
All right.
evil necromancy.
So like I'm very curious how Calder and Vic are feeling about the new addition to the team.
See, the thing is that Vic is actually going to be chilling in the forge and isn't going to necessarily leave the forge.
Ooh. Is this
he
going to
has
be
joined-
possibly sorry, real
He
quick,
has-
follow me. Do you mean that you're switching characters possibly soon?
There is, yes, I have. There is a character that I will be switching to. I'm going to be playing Vic until an opportune time. Probably like you go back to the Boulder Shoulder tents and stuff. If you guys teleport out, Vic will stay at the forge.
Okay. Cool. Jeff.
Yeah, Rob has used a needed necromancy. The cat has just come to me going, big eyes, Dad is not okay.
So what does Calder think? What does Calder think about the
like no, like absolutely nothing negative. It's like, yep, he's we have entered into a new zone and we have adopted another entity into this crappy little enterprise. Sure.
not small sized this time?
Very
Shorter than me.
confusing.
Shorter than me.
I
he
regret
is-
everything.
He has joined the august brotherhood of in the company of such people as Echo and Meepo and Creetha, frankly.
I mean, Vic was added to the group, but not as like oh, we're adopting you now, but as a I want her on my side kind of a thing.
Vic was added to the group because Vic had a dope ass grill.
And a
Let's
very,
be
very good
quite
boy.
honest here.
And a very good boy.
Yeah, she has
And a
cool,
very good boy.
she has cool toys. I want to be her friend.
Yeah, it was a Pequi chip. It was the one chip challenge from 2022, the ghost pepper one.
This is just as far as Calder is concerned. This is just the latest example of this group's weird tendency to adopt
Okay.
things whenever we go into
It was
adventure.
Calder's
Oh,
weird
God.
tendency in the first place.
It is a
My
ears won't
pop.
consistent trend, is all I'm saying.
Ugh. So I want everyone to acknowledge that I waited until I was off camera to
To
drink
puke?
any milk or do anything
Okay.
like that.
Acknowledgement.
I have ice cream now.
Don't forget to take antacid later,
Yeah, absolutely take an antacid. I don't know if you have
Especially-
any, but take one.
especially before laying down.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, that sucked. All right.
You're welcome, Rob.
Oh, fuck off.
Well earned, sir. You did it.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm back
Money
now.
well spent.
And yes, it does make your tongue blue, though the milk and ice cream has since washed that away a little bit. No anxiety response.
I know this doesn't have anything to do with current game, but like I
Just
said,
pain. Pain, so much pain.
Like Olivia and Jeff, if you want to make guesses about what my new character is, I will accept them.
Well, we know it's not Dream the Tabaxi because they're a part of Team Anton now.
That is true.
And I know you vaguely had that idea of someone who was the Dwergar's captive, like the first time we came through the Forge of Fury. I know that was a backup character, which wouldn't really fit now. So
no, because I would just be playing what's his name.
You know, with all these talks of like druids and gods and rituals, I know you had a druid at some point that I would be.
Clover. I
think a druid would make a good addition to the team, but I'm not sure if that's what you're going with.
I am going to say that it is none of the ones that I've talked about before. Just as a heads up to the audience, I only have like 200 characters. That number goes up regularly.
Ooh, there's a guess of Phantom Steed Cavalier.
Ooh, no.
But the ghost theme, I'm liking continuing on the ghost theme.
I haven't given up on Dell making a guest spot, especially with Anton now in the mix.
I feel like this would not be the correct situation to bring Dell into, though. Because then I feel like it's like, you guys are having your rivalry. I'm going to not be here.
It'd be funny as fuck, but yeah.
Especially since the established dynamic is Dell was the one that never took Anton's shit and could actually dish it out to him.
Yeah. So it would be funny as shit to do the family reunion in the middle of a war, but I agree that might not be the dynamic that you would want to go for at this point.
I feel like that would be distasteful.
So, okay. I'm back now, although the moment there's not ice cream in my mouth, it immediately comes back. I'm not done yet. I am still very much in pain, but it was for a few seconds, it was nothing. And then like my entire jaw and the roof of my mouth, fire. Just fire. Then when I swallowed it, the back of my throat, I actually did something I've never done before, and I gargled milk because I did not trust myself to swallow it because I was trying really hard not to throw up. And I didn't, and I'm good. That was exercise. That was anaerobic exercise. I am sweating so badly.
Was hitting the panic button, the no button.
Your body just said, "Yo, buddy, why did you poison us?"
Sir, you have to understand. We've just been poisoned.
So do you think you're gonna get like the alcohol sweats, but the spicy sweats later?
Yeah, I don't want to know what I'm gonna smell like tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Oh, you just know that at some point tomorrow, during an evacuation, there will be a return of agony.
Something just popped in my head. It might be weird, but like, do you think have you ever held a banana slug and like the numbing mucus it has?
No.
Do you think if you would, the banana slugs have a numbing agent in their mucus, and if you hold one, your hand will go numb, that sort of thing. And if you lick one, your tongue will go numb. So I'm wondering, like, if that would somehow counter.
It would probably be bad. It would probably be bad.
Or if it would make it bearable. I don't have a banana slug to offer you in these trying times.
Okay.
It's just a weird thought.
Okay. So, let's talk Dwerger.
You definitely don't have all of your tongue.
No, I don't. No, I'm going to be mispronounced. No, I am spitting like constantly as I speak. My entire desk is going to be covered in flecks of spit when I'm done. It's just the way it goes.
We talked a little bit while you were recovering about like what Vic feels about the new addition to the team, what Calder feels about the new addition to the team. It sounds pretty neutral or uninterested.
Dungeon 1, we picked up Echo. Later, Meepo. Dungeon 2.
Meepo was first, but yeah.
Dungeon 2, we picked up Akretha. In Waterdeep, we picked up the bag of Cuddle Buddies. And we're now in encounter and in mission 4, and we picked up a Dwerger.
It's the way this goes, right? Like, you all are just so bound and determined to make friends that, yeah.
Hey, look, I said that we were going to defeat them with the power of friendship and blood magic.
I mean, we kind of, there's blood everywhere, we have established. Like, all of these talks and negotiations were happening while the forge behind us is just coated in layers of blood. It's a wonderful, like, dichotomy of...
Yeah, because you don't know how many attempts the orcs and the Dwerger made on the forge. You saw a lot of bodies.
Saw a lot of fucking bodies.
See, like, my favorite thing when it comes down to it is PCs in Dungeons and Dragons are like, we want to make friends, but fucking don't attack us, bud, because, like, we're really good at doing the killing. Like, really good at doing the killing. Very good at it.
Speaking of which,
the killing.
I want to mention that Dwerger Despot is about the best anti-Calder enemy that you could face. Because
you say that.
Not only does their psionic armor give them automatic advantage against all saving throws for magic, they also have a native counterspell.
Once a day.
It is only once a day, that's true. But like,
and my counterspell isn't.
Their attacks are so powerful that I figure if Calder didn't put the Dwerger down before the Dwerger got an action, a full 4 attacks at 3d8 plus 5 per attack.
Oh yeah,
would be rough. It's survivable,
Nasty.
but it would have been rough.
But unfortunately, your plan has one glaring flaw in that comparison. I can turn into a T-Rex.
True, but again, that evens it up. Turning into a T-Rex evens the match because a T-Rex is CR8. Yeah,
it is CR8, and
a Despot is CR13.
But a T-Rex has more HP and a higher average damage to attack ratio.
I do really want to see an alternate universe snippet 1v1 these guys. I do want to actually like.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll definitely do it.
Regular stream, but like I'm curious because the dice can swing things so wildly.
Always. Yeah. I would give it a solid 50-50. It's not going to be an easy thing either way.
I'm really curious. I'm probably going to be running my own dice for this just on the off chance because that sounds fun.
Okay.
But we kind of heard what Echo thought about the Dwergar, and he resolutely does not see them as enemies. And the paying it forward, the fact that like he was dealt a kindness and was saved from not the same but similar circumstances in his youth. Like I've been waiting to be able to do something like this, to run into an NPC where he can get to kind of flex his kindness muscles. So that there was really
so
fun
big, his muscles.
Aww. But yeah, I did enjoy that long talk. That I like trading barbs with Rob. That was a lot of fun.
We've done it so many times.
Oh yeah,
in so many different games.
Just two people just thoroughly not impressed with each other.
Yeah, and that's like I love that. That is something like, as I said, you and I have been in so many different games as You've been storyteller for me. I've been storyteller for you. We've been co-storytellers. We've had NPCs interact like this. If there's any two people that can really do good one-on-one snark back and forth, it's the two of us. And I think we did not disappoint in this game.
Right.
I was hesitant with some of those barbs getting thrown around. I was like, oh no, please don't rise to it. No.
I had a couple that I was holding back because I knew they would have definitely elicited a response.
There was a lot of me. I was mostly just like, this feels like a dick measuring contest, and I'm not into it.
Little bit.
Well, I also purposefully kept Echo behind the Dwergar lines to be that not as an overt bargaining chip threat against my lovely teammates, but definitely showing how committed Echo was to making this work. That like if shit had gone wrong, Echo would have probably died. Like he's all of those Dwergar getting actions on him before anyone could do anything. There's a good chance, and he was pretty injured when they first started talking. So he was at like half health, if not a little less.
I was fully ready to cast a defensive spell on you just in case.
Psychonthrope, you are an absolute murderous psychopath, and I hate you. But
he said he was going to accept refunds.
I have my normal hot chips, which are actually almonds today.
Maybe it'll seem cool in comparison.
No, that's not how this works. That is not how this works.
Are you sure? Can you prove it to us?
No. Rob, do not kill your esophagus. You need that.
That's one. That's two. So, do we really think that we can get Dwergar and Shield Dwarves to like harmonize? I feel like this talk with Barnabas is going to be a really intense one, because like you've told Barnabas not to be racist before, but this isn't necessarily about that. This is about history, right? This is about like a shared culture, and it'll be really interesting to see how it goes.
But at the same time, like it's maybe not shield dwarves in particular, but dwarves and goblins have just as much bad blood in history.
Yeah.
Like it is dwarves have a lot of bad blood with a lot of fucking people.
It's like dwarves and elves and dwarves and goblins.
Yeah, the motivations of Grumsh are totalitarian. But like, let's not forget that the key, like a key feature of the Dwarves of Faerun is they are fantastically racist and just terrible.
And even if we're playing this current generation, these NPCs we have run into as not actively being racist, the fact that the history of Faerun, of this setting, is that dwarves were pitted against so many other people, and so many other people were pitted against dwarves, and that there is this hundreds of thousands of years of bad blood between them is an interesting place to try to come in and start doing a what do we do about it now?
Like the Grumsh is an evil god and deserves to die and fall, like, because sure, fine, that's the antagonist for you, but the dwarven, like the big god of the dwarves, absolutely deserves to follow suit. He is a miserable entity,
right? Like
Coralon is like Coralon is benign but useless in that, because he's just he's the nothing good elven god, whatever.
Right, and there is that baggage of here we actively see Grumsh, and Grumsh's desire for a world of only orcs coming into play. Like we have learned that is an aspect of this army, that they are following Grumsh and they are following this edict of orcs go to war until there's nothing but orcs. Like that is, we have established that as a part of maybe not the entire goal, but is a big pushing force of what this army is about. And it is very interesting to see what other people are coming out of the woods. Like as far as canon and established, the only good god that is taking an active role to stand against this is Tamora, and she has sent a goblin. A
But
goblin.
that's weirdly consistent with the gods of Faerun. The gods of Faerun are
That is
notorious
actually
for
that's valid.
all of the evil gods are like have a blank check. They will
They're very
operate.
the evil
openly.
gods are very hands-on, and the good gods are very act through channels, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
I like the idea that like maybe that's the reason that that's happening is because Timur is like, I'm just one halfling and I could kick everybody's ass. Like you can do it. I believe in you.
You got this. You got this, kid. I
got
believe
this.
in you.
and when you're the
don't
goddess
have
of luck, it
minions.
tends to color your perspective.
Yeah. But it is very interesting. And we talked a little bit about Dwergar in general and in this setting before stream. And I know one of the things about them was the fact that they don't trust any outside entities because of their long history of being enslaved by other creatures, but they also are godless was a part of it too, is that they don't trust gods in general and they don't have a god of their own, is my understanding.
They do have
They
a god. but it's-
Originally followed the god of art. I don't remember. I'm not going to look it up, but like, yes, there was a god originally. But
there is a god of the Dwargar that like,
I really
patrons the
enjoyed
Dwargar.
I really enjoyed playing the you don't understand the position of privilege that you're speaking from kind of way. That's what I wanted to do with this encounter.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be like, yes, you believe in you believe in kindness and justice and trust, and you need to understand that we don't have that luxury. We tried that, and it ended up with us being enslaved by mind flayers for hundreds of years, among other horrible things. And it's horrible, yeah.
I liked the opportunity of hearing that of Echo. Echo doesn't fucking know anything about the history of dwarves or Dwergar in specific, and he hearing that and being like, I get that. I don't know your suffering, but I was in a similar situation and I got lucky. And it's my responsibility now to pay that forward. To like, yes, you've had a shit hand dealt to you this whole time. Let me be the exception. Like that kind of offer of just because things have been shit doesn't mean they always have to be shit. and I want everyone to know he fucking means it when he promised to protect this Dwergar and bring him to talk to Barnabas and survive the encounter. Echo will throw hands with Barnabas to keep this vow.
Let's talk about him a little bit.
He is committed to this.
With a content warning, I did have him attempt to end his own life. I would like really quick to just do a quick go round and ask if we need that to be the last time he attempts that, or is this going to be is it a line there? Because right now his thing is, well, I can't even die properly.
My thinking to that is, I wonder how long it's going that perspective will last. The moment his belly's full, probably for the first time in his life.
I do want to. I was planning before we did the whole big skill check that took hours, and then we ended. See, I do want to, before they leave, before they go and head off and try to find the teleportation circle. Echo wants to talk to him and understand. One, Echo has, like I said, has no cultural idea about what these people are about. Like, hearing the fact that this dude was disappointed about not being able to die in the way that his people, like, would assure him a good afterlife. Echo feels fucking terrible about that. He's like, oh shit, I kind of fucked your soul over, didn't I? Fuck. And like, Echo wants to talk to him, understand that circumstance better, and hopefully offer reassurances that although he can't die for his clan in the same way, he could still accomplish good things for his clan through this new avenue. Like, that's what Echo wants to get across through a conversation that I want to have with it.
I want to have that conversation too. I will say it will probably be a little while before that particular Dwerger says any words going forward. He's going to be mute for a bit. I just burped fire, by the way.
But yeah, as far as I was expecting a suicide attempt from the rescued dude. From what you said about what we talked about before about Dwergar culture, I was expecting the possibility of him trying to like jump off the fucking waterfall.
Yeah.
Like Echo, like I was preparing all these things of like Echo jumping after him, clicking the immovable rod. Like I was preparing for like it to be a bigger dramatic thing. So I was expecting it as a part of the storytelling, given what you have told us about the culture that he comes from. But I would appreciate it not being a super big part of the story going forward. Now that we have established that,
Yeah, you'll have to keep an eye on him, but so long as you are the player characters are continuing to keep an eye on him, then that'll be fine. Big Bird, thank you for the subscription, and yes, I think I did manage to fix my goddamn alerts, so that one worked. Yes, thank you.
I'm of the mindset that I figured we were gonna put him on suicide watch from the beginning.
Yeah, but I know that suicide is one of our lines, so I wanted to make sure, like, you know.
I
figured like we don't need to have it like play an on-screen role.
Agree.
Like that's one of the reasons I would say no, we don't need to like constantly revisit that as a theme.
Agree.
Like just let him be miserable, let him sulk, but then like again, this is a Dwerger. He's like, I have lived my life defined by the struggle, by being a cog in a machine. And sorry, how much food?
I am looking forward to introducing him to
snacks,
to radical kindness, and seeing how that does change how he feels about his current situation, especially because the it like we said, we've established it, it's been a part, it made sense in the moment for this moment, but going forward, I don't think it needs to be a major part of the roleplay in order to find a good story for this character.
Agree. Big Bird, thank you for the subs. You are absolutely allowed to interrupt. This is the time. Like, this post-game show is specifically when we are supposed to be interacting with viewers and all that other stuff. So, no, this is the perfect time to hit us with a bunch of subs. And all that other stuff.
We also take lots of questions.
Yes. Also, since we still have a little bit of time, if anybody has any questions they want to ask, either about the game or about D&D in general or about anything, now's a great time to ask. We love interacting. A lot of the time, it's just us, hanging out, talking to each other, and we love talking to viewers. So, any questions, any comments, anything at all?
I have a mechanics question.
Yeah.
So those last two rolls that Kretha made were at advantage because of the coins Echo was adding to the process, right?
Yes.
Cool. Echo doesn't have a holy symbol anymore. He gave away all three he had this session. Big swings.
So that's a thing that we'll have to deal with.
He can't cast any cleric magic.
But here's the fun thing for that, right? Is that we can make a new one.
No, we could. Yes. It's just
but it's part of the story now, right?
It is part of the story now that he, in this process, in helping to convince the Dwergar, giving away the amulet, which functioned as a holy symbol, and then later with the making the sword and this great new magic weapon in only 6 hours, which is fucking ridiculous. The fucking power of this forge, man.
I think it was Psychanthrope that said this is artifact level magic, and the answer is yes. Yes, it is. The Forge of Fury in the actual module is not given any mechanics. It's just a dungeon. It may as well just be an ordinary forge.
It's a MacGuffin.
Another thing that someone said, maybe it was Lionar, maybe it was Psychanthrope again, that this has the potential to completely shift the power dynamic of the entire continent. And yes, that is absolutely what I intended when I realized what I wanted to do with the Forge. Yes, I deliberately turned it into something that could be that could break society or change society fundamentally. I expect that this is the first step towards getting away from sort of high fantasy land and sort of moving towards a magic punk setting where lots and lots of magical items are suddenly available. Like a +1 sword might be at first it'll only be rich people who can afford it, but eventually it's going to be like, yeah, anyone who has a little bit of coin can purchase a magic item, and that's not normal. Like at the beginning of this campaign, I specifically made magical items very rare for you, rarer even than the book recommends. I was really stingy with magical treasure for a long time, and now that's coming across.
We're gonna put Marlin out of business.
Yeah, basically.
Revos. I wanted to answer Revos'
Yeah,
question.
Revos asks, Big Bird, I swear to God, you don't have to do that, my friend. I'm not going to say no. I appreciate you and I love you for it, but you don't have to do that.
Okay,
Revos asks, what do we feel about D&D 1 or 1 D&D?
My opinion on D&D 1 is I haven't looked at it because it's still in playtesting and I'm not part of the playtest. Which means that I'm not going to give a shit about it until it's done.
Yeah, I don't have brain space to look through that until it's like solidified and I can actually read through a book. I don't process rules mid testing very well.
I looked through it.
That being said, I am part of the D20 Modern 5th Edition playtest, so ask me questions about that, and I'll give you answers.
Jeff, what were you going to say?
Regarding D&D 1, everything I've read has been a mixed bag. It's like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It has some good ideas. It has some bad ideas. It'll be fine.
I can say that I don't like specifically the rule that that crits no longer affect sneak attack or smite. You no longer have a you no longer double any of that stuff. Yeah. It's more like you only double the damage dice of the weapon. I think that's a mistake. I think that letting the paladin smite for 9,000 damage is good for the game. It feels good. It's good narratively. I think what they were trying to go for was they don't want the BBEG to get one-shotted by the paladin who happened to roll a 20. But I think that makes for a good story. Just like it made for a good story when a roper critted on Clarion and set the tone of the next year of gaming.
There's so many tabletop roleplay systems out there. The thing for me that stands out that is so great about D&D is the fact that the most notable thing about it is its crits. The fact that no matter how good at being stealthy you are, you can crit fail on a stealth roll, or no matter how slim a chance you could one shot the big bad boss at the end if you roll sick enough. Like that's kind of the big like banner advertising thing about D&D that I like so much, is because it's such wild variance. Like that's I know some people see it as a flaw of the system, but like I'm here because I think it's a feature.
Yeah. And you know, like guidance is no longer a spammable spell. Guidance is now a reaction that you take when someone fails a skill check. You can use your reaction to give them guidance, but they can only benefit from it once in a long rest.
I do like rescaling several of the class the subclass benefits start happening at lower levels.
Yeah.
Fantastic idea. That's great. Spreading them that far over 20 levels was always a dumb idea.
Agree. Like anything, that's the problem, right? Some of the capstone stuff happens at level 17 to 20, and how many campaigns actually get that far? This one probably won't. Like this campaign has been running for over 2 years now. Almost 2 years now. I don't know exactly. But like we're probably not going to get to level 20 in this campaign unless we decide specifically that we want to do a high level module later on.
We're not even level 10.
Yeah.
There was another question about magical prosthetics, which I think are canon in current D&D. Like Tasha has it as a magic item.
Yeah.
Magical prosthetics have been added recently. I love them personally. I love the concept of you can use magic to tweak it, but that also comes from a person who, and I'm gonna do some quick tangents here. In 3.5, I played in a planner hopping nightmare game with my lovely friend who does not exist on the internet, where the opening salvo for the game, I had my wizard's arm bitten off by a vrock. And then the rest of the game was purely going and finding the materials to make a prosthetic.
Jeff, you were saying.
Yeah, the concept of the magic prosthetic has been around for a bit within the game because they've been one thing I truly like about 5e is how it has been like aggressively acknowledging the existence of disabled peoples and people who are in wheelchairs, people who have disabilities, and saying explicitly they do not that in a world with magic these are not restrictions anymore.
Yeah.
That it was a mechanics challenge I put on myself to make my other character Charlotte, who is a wizard, but with the restriction of that she is blind. That I could only pick magic that doesn't require line of sight or
and that came up a few times.
Yeah, and it there were detriments to it. It definitely limited the spells I could choose for her, but there were also advantages, like that thing when we were fighting the ghost and she couldn't see it, so she didn't have to roll for fear. Like exploring disabilities and how those interact with mechanics. I think D&D, especially 5e, has done a lot to make it interesting and to make it that you could make stories featuring these things and you don't feel like you're working against the mechanics to do it, but you can rather work with the mechanics to incorporate it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think we should begin.
How's the mouth doing?
I'm fine now. The pain is gone. I still feel the warmth in my belly like I took a shot of whiskey. And it's just like sitting down there. I think Psychonthrope is right that later on I'm going to probably regret this even more. But for now, I think we should go ahead and move into our last segment where we talk about what we had fun with and where we talk about what other player characters deserve some accolades. And honest to God, every single one of you does. And I would even go so far as to say that I do, because we started this evening making Jen cry. Like, the very first thing I did was I made Jen cry. And
What a rude bird.
Too, motherfucker.
and people ask online
like
sometimes. On Twitter, they'll ask, like, what is your specialty as a DM? What is the thing you do the best? The thing I do the best is pulling my players' heartstrings until they cry. I have done it at least 5 times in this campaign, starting with Meepo and moving all the way on. At least twice with Meepo, possibly more. So yeah, big fan of that.
I have a heart of stone.
Stone cold.
So we're gonna go ahead and first off, as before, at the end of this, I'm gonna go ahead and award a point of inspiration to the person who I think deserves it the most. Jen said that Echo, Gail, was the one that she wanted to give a shout out to. Your shout outs do matter. Of course, the ultimate judgment is mine because I'm the DM.
And the audience shout outs matter.
Audience shout outs also matter. So, as we are talking about what we had fun with, and as we are talking about player characters that we want to give props to, I would very strongly suggest that those of you in the chat go ahead and talk about what your favorite part of this session was, what you think, which player character you think deserves some inspiration for an absolutely spectacular performance. So, we're going to go in reverse order from the introduction at the beginning of the game. So we're going to start with Jeff. What was something that you particularly had fun with, and what is a player character that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I'm going to start with my shout out because I do think it has to go to Gale. That was a fantastic romp. The character interactions for all of the NPCs, from Arden to Galvin to the stuff that led around the other scenes, you had something to do with every moment, and it was really fun to watch. But my favorite part of the evening definitely has to be it making you suffer. That will always make me smile. So thank you.
Rude.
Fair. No, it's fair. It's fair. Em, what is something you had particular fun with, and what is a player character you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, I love giving like little snide comments on the side. I feel like that's what Vic was made for. Vic is like Vic is not a main character. I want y'all to know this right now. Vic is absolutely designed as like the snarky side character that sometimes get angry in the middle of the screen. Realistically, I like the fact that like the moment that things were starting to get hazy, Vic was like, and that's my door. Bye. That was good for me. And it felt very true to character. And I want you all to know that I appreciate giving the option for Vic to just like bounce the fuck out.
Absolutely.
But also like still be close enough to hear the conversation so I can make like shitty side comments, because that's very also important to the character. We don't talk to people, but we do talk shit about people within their hearing range. That being said, I really enjoyed watching Kritha and Echo like tag team the despot of like, like, listen, buddy, there are options that you have here. I think that the two of them together was very much some like goblin on dwarf action, and that was good for me.
I liked the callback to the racism of the original Dwerger, and I really tried to establish that this despot was not going to be falling into that trap by punching out the dwarf who made the racist comment. Like, I feel like, because I know that Jeff had a spell ready to go. He was like, I'm about to do a thing, and I had to jump in as Armin to be like, no, he's gonna take care of business himself. Yeah.
My entire spell was going to be like I polymorph him into a frog, and say, anyone else?
Well, like the thing is that like Vic
ahead.
was about to move in that too, because it's like if you're gonna be racist, of all of the people to be racist about, you're gonna go for the small ones. Buddy, I'm right the fuck here. I understand I'm the weirdest one in the room. Listen, the least you can do is pick the correct target.
You're looking for a weirdo.
You're looking for a weirdo. I am right the fuck here. I know I'm a weirdo. I ain't from here.
What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Gail, tell me a little bit about what you had fun with, and tell me a little bit about a player character you want to shout out.
I've already gushed a bit about the getting to flex the kindness muscles, but the getting to do the big moves with throwing away some magical items, but specifically the fact that they were items either given to him or allow him to use the power of Tamora better, using those to make these, like I said, these big swings. It is a tenet of Tamora that you have to make your own luck, and that if you are afraid to try your luck and try your chances at things, then good things won't come your way. You have to put yourself out there. And this was kind of the first real opportunity I got to be a cleric of Tamora in that aspect of the fact that, like, yeah, the safer, more more numbers crunchy good way to play is not to give away all of your holy symbols, or to not give away the amulet of devotion, which was buffing all of his cleric abilities. If he didn't have that amulet, the dude would have made his save. It's that +1 that matters that he no longer has. And getting to do a narrative choice at the sacrifice of mechanics. I am a role player at heart. I always love the opportunity to be less efficient but more narrative. So that was really fun. And I want to put the shout out towards a chat shout out to Kistrel for all those fucking bonuses. Thank you. Those came in handy a lot. And the fellow player shout out to Jeff. I could see it in your eyes, and we've been talking too, like out of stream, of all your different like battle plans and different ways to manipulate things with spells. And I really appreciate the fine line that you did with the role play today of the being a threat and being threatening and being the aggressive negotiator that Calder is, while also like threading that needle of like Calder probably doesn't want to be the first one to throw a punch, or the, like he has certain lines, but he's not going to cross them unless they cross them first. And it was very tense and I appreciated that atmosphere you brought to it.
Robin and I have been role playing like this for a very, very long time. We both know how to thread a threat, and the scene was like is looking at the scene in aggregate. It was two powerful forces, and yeah, the despot is powerful and strong and is alone, like 1v1, a serious threat to Calder. Calder is immaterial. Calder is alone, and just 30 seconds ago, all of their rust monsters and the entire command staff and the guard of that this guy is touting as being superior were just waxed by a single spell. So the posturing like well, I am so much better than you. Yeah, that would ring a lot better if I didn't have a memory of a minute ago.
But the dick waving contest was one thing, but I was so, you had me like, the DM exists to add tension and to give you stakes, but the fact that I felt like most of the tensions and stakes were coming from a fellow player of like, oh, are they gonna hit Echo and then Calder's gonna lose it, or are they gonna insult Kretha and Calder's gonna lose it?
And Calder's had it good for a while. Calder has for the last several levels been someone who has been able to, through his prodigious charisma and power, manipulate situations around him to his benefit. I'm thinking specifically of the hunt with the other nobles, where he was able to almost effortlessly take advantage of them and be this incredible force. And
what you're saying is he deserves to get knocked down a peg or two?
It was really interesting to see Jeff respond to Calder being ignored, basically. Like, I didn't use the word child against Calder. I was thinking about it. Because this is a century-old dwarf, right? If he had said child to Calder, it would have been a fair thing to say. But sure. I felt like Mageling was probably the best way to diminish him without like, I don't know, it felt really nice. Big Bird, thank you so much for being here. Get going. I'm so very glad that you were here, not just because you gave me a whole lot of money, but because, you know, just being here and hanging out, it's good times. I hope you come back in a couple of weeks.
I do want to see his face when I do want to see his face when it was like, but T-Rex.
It would have been interesting, and it wouldn't have been the first Eldritch horror that this thing, like, I have this whole sort of semi backstory for Armin in my head,
in a good way,
and he's definitely like fought against mind flayers. He's definitely fought against large underground Eldritch horrors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's immune to the frightened condition. He's immune to a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. It was really good.
This is
not immune to several large teeth in his torso.
Dude has fought mind flayers. We have a mind flayer after us. We have so much in common, man. If we could just work together.
Echo's over here being like, look, I'm trying to pass you a blunt. You have to smoke it, okay?
So what I had fun with, and I had fun with at least one thing with each of you, so I'm just gonna go around. Obviously the scene with Kretha and Durgadin was excellent. Like, spectacular. You can always count on Jen to get emotional when I tee up her being emotional. Like, it's amazing, and she's so good at that. Jeff, like, I have been, and I know you have been as well, looking forward to and rehearsing this interaction for weeks. And it could have gone to initiative at any time. Like, I was ready on the ball the moment any of you did anything overtly aggressive. I was ready to throw chops at any point. And I think that's an important thing, because I did not come into this assuming that combat wouldn't happen. I came into this totally open. I had strategies and tactics in mind if combat happened, and I really feel like threading that needle was really important. Like, keeping the tension up, but not going over to the point where we have to have combat. It was really good. I love the fact that Vic seems to be basically tailor-made for this situation, like specifically for repairing and utilizing the Forge of Fury.
Did not plan that. Thank you.
And of course, Echo being Echo, right? Just like trying so hard to be so good and being hit right in the face with this massive amount of culture shock that isn't done yet, right? And I wanted to make it clear because Dwerger are a quote-unquote evil race, right? And I didn't want this to be just another case of the evil things are doing evil things. I felt like looking at Echo and saying, yeah, you had your difficulties, but the fact is you're a surface dweller and you don't know what it's like down there. And I will not accept your judgment on what we have to do to survive. You have morals because you have the luxury of having morals. You have friendship because you have the luxury of having friendship. We don't have that luxury. And I really appreciated how Echo was willing to back off a little bit on that, while still being like, yeah, but I mean, you got to be good though.
But you could.
And for me, it's hands down gotta be Gale that gets the inspiration. It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all of you did amazing. I did amazing too. But when it comes right down to it, Gale was the MVP of this game, and Echo will get a point of inspiration for the next game. We are coming up on time. So let's go ahead and do a quick go round of plugs, and then we will get the fuck out of here. Gail, where can people find you and follow you?
I post all my stuff to a Tumblr. It's a measure of separation. I will type it in Jet because it's slightly misspelled. That's where I post all of the animatics I make, all of the art, all of the writing I do, whether or not it's canon. You can find it there.
Psychanthrope, you're absolutely
Gail,
right.
You are a moderator, so you can drop it as a link.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Psychanthrope. It's not that the surface dwellers made better choices, and in fact, in many respects, they make worse choices, because the softness allows them to exploit others. But they had better options to choose from. Like the people in the Underdark, they have to do what they have to do to survive, and that's, I think, an important point. And I love that. I love that morality isn't an absolute like it has been in earlier editions of D&D. M, where can people find you, follow you, experience you?
I am One Silver Key on all of the things. That's Facebook. There is a Facebook thing. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. I stream occasionally. I haven't recently because I work in retail.
Fair. Totally fair.
But like I've been playing Cult of Lamb recently, and I should hopefully, big knocks on everything, be playing again soon. But there's been we're going into Christmas, y'all. We're hitting that thing we call it holidays and suck life. So
yep, totally fair. Jeff, where can people find you and experience you and your artwork?
As mentioned at the start of this, because of other reasons, I am. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at still tired and angry. Although I am marginally less tired and angry today.
Yeah, it was a good day. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Patreon at Math Demigod. I do plan on putting something behind the paywall on Patreon in the hopes of getting some folks to subscribe to that. You can also find our backlog, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, at youtube.com/gamingmathematically. We have over 80 hours of backlog content. If you start at the very beginning, and by the way, our production value has increased vastly since the beginning, but if you go from the beginning and you follow these characters all the way up, you have like literal days worth of content. So if you're looking to sink your teeth into a campaign with a big backlog, this is the place. So go to youtube.com/gamingmathematically. And other than that, friends, Romans, citizens,
lend me your ears. Good night.
We're going to go ahead and get the hell out of here, but we will be back in 2 weeks. And fun fact, We're going to be back in 2 weeks with an entirely different cast of characters. In the next session, these wonderful, fine people will be playing the antagonist group, which is led by Anton, and they will be undertaking a mission to try to cut off the orcs from their magical food supply. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a very, very different look. It's going to be a very different time. I hope you all join us. I hope you have had a good time since you've been here. And yeah, please, come on back. We love to see you here. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care, friends. And we're out as soon as I hit the button that I need to hit. Here we go.